motion and a second by trustee Anderly. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No, okay. So we have the approval of the agenda. Nothing under village president's report. Reports and questions from trustees and working groups.
I have none.
I have nothing.
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
Moving on, village staff reports. Anything?
Nothing other than the agenda item.
Anyone else? Nothing? Wow. Questions from the audience. We have 5 minutes per person for items on the agenda and items not on the agenda. First, I will ask items on the agenda. Steve, do you still want to speak at the, now, ahead of time? You, go ahead.
Mary Pat? Hey, village trustees. Well, village manager Cavallaro.
Can you make sure that's on? Just make sure it's flipped up. Yep, it was. Perfect.
Testing. I'm once again before you regarding what is one of the most prominent, historic, and fondly noted properties in West Dundee, and rightly so. What draws the casual passerby can arguably be considered an attractive, notable, magnificent display of early 20th century design and grandeur. This has been the initial reaction by every owner, and once inside, the interior details delivers on what the exterior promises. Each successful owner left unchanged the interior appointments, but added value to the already impressive property. One must not just admire the attractive building, but also employ a sensible approach to the intelligent use of the property. Throughout the history of ownership, many plans have been implemented with varying degrees of success. Our current use, which was a continuation of the previous owner's plan, proved to be the most viable to both retaining ownership and meeting the demands of the building's upkeep, maintenance, and prudent modernization architectural treasures require. While it's a bittersweet realization that it's time for the closing of this chapter of my stewardship, we are extremely pleased to have found someone who shares in our vision and will continue with and improve what we have begun. We are confident that the village will recognize and grant the license to Tala to complete the seamless transition, which will benefit everyone, and the property will continue to remain a jewel of West Dundee. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak to items on the agenda? Seeing none, items not on the agenda? Consent agenda. I need to read these individually. So we have approval of bill list for $874,517.06. Special events request, Circle K Cars and Coffee Car Show. Approval of minutes, regular board meeting June 15th, 2026. Dundee Township Lions NKCC Heritage Fest 5K, 10K Walk special event request. Are there any items anyone would like removed from the consent agenda? I have one question for clarification. On the special events for the Circle K, they're not limited like St. Catharines or the VFW, or is that because it doesn't involve liquor? Or
Yes.
okay, thank you. So I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through D.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second from trustee Price. Roll call, please.
Trustee Anderle?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbert?
Aye.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
Trustee Huska?
Aye. Consent agenda is approved. Resolutions and ordinances. I've got this one. So, okay, an ordinance amending the water distribution system construction standards. Well, we've found out we have some issues, and So we need to make some changes or not, or as needed changes, I guess, per request.
This gives the department, my office specifically, the authorization to allow C900 pipe. So as the study comes back, we got it done and we prioritized Fox Haven because that stuff is around, and determined that C900 poly pipe was the way to go there, and actually got that approved through the agency rather quickly. As easy as ductile iron is, and being impervious to the aggressive soils. Initial reports show the aggression is electrically based. Bless you. We kind of, especially with the stuff around the mall, we had a presumption that that might be chemically based because of the food. This gives us the ability on a case by case for Public Works to recommend that that's what goes into the ground if we determine it's necessary. In the emails, it seems like that's going to be predominant moving forward.
And lots of towns allow for, you know, PVC and poly, non-ductile iron pipe, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ductile iron for 27 years. It's what I know. It's what I would prefer in any other scenario. But I also realize it's been going in the ground since before I started my career, so it's not a new thing. Or you know, it stood the test of time for its rigidity, and in our case, its longevity will be greater than ductile.
And because there's at least some level of flexibility in the pipe itself, is it less prone to breaking water main breaks due to cold?
Yeah, for ground movement, it has more flexibility than, say, ductile iron has, so that it'll move and break less. When it does, the drawback is lateral cracking, so you won't get as many holes, or radial cracking. You might have a crack that goes, so instead of putting a clamp on, you're probably putting a new section of pipe in instead.
Yeah.
That section of pipe is much cheaper and can be carried on the shoulder of an average person, so that's kind of nice. But you'll be doing more pipe sections than you would stainless steel clamps on repair.
All right, thank you.
I can make the motions, right? Okay. There's no further discussion or questions. I move to approve an amendment to Title 11, Chapter 5, Section 6 of the West Dundee Municipal Code.
Second.
Second from Trustee Price. Roll call, please.
Trustee Eska?
Aye.
Trustee Anderly?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrandt?
Aye.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
Okay, Trustee Price, 305 Oregon Avenue, the mansion, consideration of a license for continued mixed residential use.
Yes, so this was, first of all, I apologize, missing the last meeting, I was on vacation, but I understand this came up, and was continued until this meeting, and the owner, I believe, is here, the potential owner, and so I guess I'd like to give you a chance to talk a little bit about what your plans are.
It's whatever there, appreciate your time.
You can state your name
My name is
and
Tal Azim.
address. Yep.
I live in Streamwood. However, I'm planning to move over here to West Dundee and join your village. I want to give you a brief history about myself. I've been a home builder in construction and remodeling for the past 30 years. I'm nationally licensed as a home inspector as well too for the past 5 years. And I also do a lot of property maintenance for a lot of my family members and friends as well too. However, in the past 5 years, I have an aunt that suffered a stroke, and she's like my mom, which is my mom right over here. And I had to drop everything and take care of her, and my life pretty much changed for the past 6 months thereon afterwards. And since then, I've been a caretaker for not just my aunt, my mom's sister, but my other aunt as well too, and now my mom as well too. So I actually saw this home 5 years ago when it was on the market, and at that time I was not able to acquire it because of financial reasons, and just life, right? But just recently, last year, my father passed away, and he was in a nursing home for the past 6 months before he passed, and I saw him suffer, and I saw him wither away over there. right now I have two of my aunts in the same nursing home as well too. And I looked at this property again and somehow it's back on the market and now I'm able to financially afford it. And so my plans were to move, because right now I'm a caretaker for 3 people primarily, and I spend most of my days going from one nursing home to another and taking care of all of them. So my intention is to purchase this home, because it's a grand, huge property with a lot of bedrooms, was to bring my family in there where I'm not driving around different places, you know, being a caretaker at different times, and kind of bring them all into under one roof. So that's my intention with the property. I plan on living there, and it's not just an investment, it's more of a purpose behind it. And I'll tell you why, is because when I saw my dad suffer in the nursing home prior to him dying, he asked me, because whatever happens to that property that you're looking at, I wish I was there rather than here. And that's stuck with me, and that's been a dagger in my heart for a very long time. And I don't want to see I promised my dad I wouldn't let my mom end up in a place like that. So my intention is to purchase this place, make it a place where I can take care of my family, you know, as well as, you know, make improvements. I understand it's a historic place. I've looked into the property. I've looked into the Fierke families, built in 1901. So I've done my homework on the property, and I think it's a beautiful property. I'm not just gonna come in there and just live there and just, you know, I do wanna make it better. You know, I've done a lot of remodeling work where I know what's required and what's needed to modernize the place, but keep the historic value as well too. You know, so I mean, I'm more than happy and wanting to work with you guys to see what you guys want from me to keep it a historical place, because that's a pride and joy that I have. That's something that I'm gonna be able to, you know, like say, hey, this is my foundation that I built for my family, and I want to keep it that way. You know, and I understand that it's a staple of this town. You know, with that being said, I mean, I really, really appreciate and hope I can get you guys' votes for me to acquire this property and maintain it and make it better, and, you know, keep it with the rental properties as well too. But, you know, again, it's not just an investment for me, it's the purpose behind it.
I had a couple of questions. So have you managed other properties before, rental properties?
I have been, yeah, because I have several family members that own rental properties. My dad as well too. So towards the end of his time, I pretty much, you know, took over those properties and have been managing them for a very, very long time. So I'm pretty well versed on them, but it takes and what's required to deal with tenants and people coming in and out. I know what is required as far as codes and, you know, with zoning and everything else too. Because I've been in the construction business for about 25, 30 years. So it's not like it's not a new breed for me. It's something that I've pretty much, you know, been involved with for 30 years. Well.
And could you talk a little bit about your experience with historic properties?
So, you know, I actually had one historic property in Evanston. It was a commercial property that I had worked on. And I understand that I can't just go in there and just, you know, the property that I was working on, which is back in 2005, I think, they wanted to make it into a nail salon. And we had a lot of pushbacks from the village, which was my first experience, but I understood that they had certain requirements. So it's not like I can just go in there and just paint the place up and, you know, modernize it. I understand there's certain requirements behind it. There's a certain staple that the property holds value to, you know. So I kind of learned a lot in that experience as well too. So, you know, addressing this property, I do want to modernize it or make it more refreshing it up. But I want to keep the integrity and keep it as the historical, you know, monument that it is for this village.
And that would go for the interior and the exterior, or what are you thinking for?
I would start with the exterior first, of course, interior, exterior as well too. You know, I love art, I love architectural design and interior design. So when I first saw the property, like I feel like I was walking into like a museum. I feel like I saw that Wisconsin Dells paying a ticket to, you know, tour the place more than inspect it. That's what I love about it. You know, I'm not gonna go in there and just take the trim up. I see a lot of value in the way it's designed, and it's a beautiful place. So I'm not, you know, I don't want to. I want to keep the vintage historic look, but just refreshing it up, tidying it up a little bit, you know, and make sure that it's not falling apart. You know, I understand there's some concerns about the exterior upkeep and stuff, and that's my first goal, is to make it look nice. Because again, it's, you know, my family's gonna be moving in there. You know, it's not just a rental property investment for me.
And do you have sort of specific projects or timeline or anything like that in terms of what you're thinking about for
I do have some projects in
prioritization?
mind. As far as the timeline, I mean, that all depends on my contractor as well as you guys, permits and zoning as well too, right? So, but I do want to take care of a lot of the exterior facades that need taken care of. I mean, I haven't fully inspected and examined the place like in detail until I can get in there and live in there. But yeah, I do plan on making some improvements to it.
Okay. And then it sounds like at least two of the tenants in quotes, I guess, would be actually your own family members then. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, two of them, both of my aunts, and then my mom and I would be living there as well too.
Oh, okay. So three. Okay. So you plan to live on the property, and then
Oh, yeah.
would you be serving as the property manager then, or who
Yeah,
did you?
I'd
Because I
be-
think there was some mention of a property manager. I wasn't sure if that was you
Oh,
or
yeah,
if that
I'd
was.
be the property manager for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be the property manager. I'm gonna be on the property. I'm
Got
gonna
it.
stay there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all I had right now.
So you submitted a one-page document entitled The Manor. And to me, this is pretty lacking as far as a plan. There's some generalities in here, some things I don't understand as far as what some of this means. Gently restore. What do you mean by gently restore?
It goes back to what I said about, like, I understand the historic value of it. You know, most people want to come in there and just put in everything brand new and fancy and make it look like it's futuristic. I want to keep the historic integrity of it, but refreshing it up, like maybe change the colors around a little bit, make it more modern. I was thinking more like a cream and, you know, like make it more just bright and beautiful. You know, so when I mean gently, I mean I'm not gonna go in there and just start tearing down the trim and putting in, you know, vinyl soffits and stuff. You know, I'm gonna keep the exterior trim the same, but update it and make it more, you know, so it's not falling apart, not peeling or anything.
Okay, so gently restore means some cosmetic changes?
Yeah, cosmetic is, cosmetic, just, but I mean, I'm not gonna change the look or the shape of it, no. Because I think there's value in that, I think it's beautiful.
The more, sorry, Ed, just if you don't mind to your question, just more on the side of like repairs and maybe colors and things like that as opposed to changing.
So that I would wanna work with you guys, because it's, again, it's a staple of your town, right? So I don't wanna go in there and make it all like, you know, like rainbow colors and stuff. I wanna make sure you guys are happy with the way it looks. I wanna make sure the neighbors are happy with the way it looks. You know, it's, again, it's gonna be like, it's, to me, it's more of a pride and joy for me. You know, I'm trying to build a legacy here, you know, not just buy it and flip it and sell it like, you know, other people might look at that property as. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna work with you guys and, you know, make sure you guys are happy with the way it looks, make sure the neighbors are happy with the way it looks, not just an eyesore or some, you know, rainbow bright colors that you guys, you know, people might think. But yeah, I mean, I do plan on refreshing it up, you know, but I wanna keep the design, you know, the architecture the same, because I think that's what it's known for.
You mentioned some past experience in property management, commercial construction experience. Were you an actual contractor? Were you a manager? Did you work for
No,
a team that did certain projects? What specifically? Because we have a history with this property of Steve doing the work himself because he has that background. He did a lot of the masonry. We were able to see him actually working out there himself. When you say your experience in these fields and trades, what kind of experience do you have? Are you going to bring that? Are you going to get contractors to do it? This is a property that qualifies for TIF funding, and we haven't seen any request, any plan, any thoughts on that. So, sorry, two-part question.
Sure. So I have a general contractor that already came and looked at the property, and he's you know, he's been around for about 20 years as well too. I'm not just a subcontractor. I actually had my own company, so I was actually the owner. You know, I have a good team behind my back and stuff. But again, 5 years ago, I had to pretty much drop all of that and take care of my family. But since then, I've been a property manager for my family and my friends who have a lot of multiple investments and stuff. So I've been continuing with that, but I have not done the construction work myself. I have a professional contracting company that I would obviously sub that out too. I'm not gonna go in there and just, you know, like do all the work myself. I actually I can't anymore.
But you haven't gone through it yet, you said, and you don't have a detailed plan of what you want to do?
I do have a plan. I've walked through the property. I had actually during the showing I had my contractor come with me as well too. So I knew exactly what was involved. I understand it's going to be a huge cost, but I have certain phases. I'm not just going to start renovating and bringing in bulldozers and stuff. I want to start with the exterior. I have like different phases that I want to start with first. Obviously, I am gonna make it more accessible to my aunt, my mom. So make sure that it's like more like handicap compliant for that. So I have an aunt that's in a wheelchair. So that's one of my interior concerns. As far as the exterior, yeah, I do want to refreshen it up. And given that it's the end of the summer, it's gonna be a little bit, like I would have liked to start back in June if I could. But see how this weather is and see what we can get done. But yeah, it's part of my budget.
Okay. And you are personally going to live there. You're going to have 2 other family members, so that's 3 of the spaces within the floor plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as the single room occupancies, that will be purely rental, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And in your plan, you said that parking would be 100% contained within the confines of the property line?
Yeah.
You mentioned dedicating funds. Now, this is purely speculative. There's no way to know what that's going to entail. But as far as potential TIF funding, village support, what are you thinking? What are you looking at?
So I did look into the TIF funding. I'm not sure exactly what is allocated towards it. I'm hoping that's going to help me out with the exterior refinishing of the property. So, I'm looking forward to actually working with Joe Caballero as well as, I think his name was Steve, I forgot, to see what I can acquire from that, and if I can utilize that, that'd be great. And that's why I said, if I'm going to update the property, I want to work with you guys and see how you guys would like it. And that way I can utilize the TIF funding because, again, to me, it's not just a property, it's a monument of the town, it's a staple of the town.
Have you ever worked with for any of your other properties, a public-private partnership, utilize TIF funding or any other governmental funding source to?
No, I have not.
I'll have them.
We just have one question. Are you buying the property outright?
Yeah.
Okay, so your contract is only contingent on this meeting?
And would you be the sole owner, or do you have a group that?
It's me and my mom. So after my dad passed away, we were able to use that a way to purchase the property.
I have no questions. Anyone else have any questions? Any more questions? Seeing none.
All right. Okay, I move to approve a license to Tahia Azim for continued mixed-use residential use of 305 Oregon Avenue in accordance with the village-approved special use of ordinance 2024-19, subject to purchase of the subject property and village-required annual rental property registration.
Second.
We have a motion, a second by trustee Anderly. Roll call, please.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
Trustee Yeska?
Aye.
Trustee Anderly?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrandt?
No.
All right, unfortunately, we need 4 to pass anything, correct?
Yeah, correct.
All right, so we basically, it neither passes nor fails. And so unfortunately, we have to continue it to our next meeting, which is August 17th. So, and we expect to have a full board group at that meeting. I apologize for the fact that we're light here between vacation schedules and everything else. And I know this is the second time that you've tried to do this, so again, I really apologize, but,
Oh, yeah, I'll apply it.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm, right?
yeah, right. So, okay.
Okay,
Well, thank you very much for you guys.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you for coming and telling us and responding to questions.
all right. Sanitary Master Study Phase 1 Inflow and Infiltration Assessment. This is something we've needed for a long time. And this is basically First Street to the river.
Yep, north and south sides, they're gonna, Trustee Bryce asked a question about lining, that's absolutely gonna happen, trying to take a phased approach just due to expense. So they're gonna inspect all the manholes and create GPS kind of grid, kind of like the water model, to where we can map the sections between those. So those will be fully inspected, 360-degree video, and then we'll create section markers for the televising, and then probably smoke testing as part of phase 2.
And the the televising, you can see actual cracks and water seeping in and all of that kind of stuff, so that's good. The smoke testing, is that mostly for illicit connections, if you will? Yeah. So if people have downspouts or something connected to it, or
Illegal connections to,
stormwater.
not sure how
Pump
great of
pumps,
a
storm drains,
Yeah.
gutters.
All right, thanks.
Anyone else? I move to approve a proposal with Baxter and Woodman to conduct Phase 1 of the Sanitary Master Study at a cost not to exceed $74,900.
Second.
A motion and a second by Trustee Price. Roll call, please.
Trustee Yeska?
Aye.
Trustee Anderly?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrandt?
Aye.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
Motion, item passes. Okay, authorization to purchase Public Works vehicle replacement. And if we approve this, we hopefully will get a truck by 2028.
Yeah, we were hoping the timeline was a little quicker than before, but it looks like we bought, this is a single rear axle, large dump truck. The last one was a double. We thought this one would be a little quicker, but it's gonna be a couple years.
I didn't think they still had the state thing going, but I guess they do.
They
Certain
haven't
vehicles.
for,
Oh,
yeah, they
certain
haven't
vehicles.
for what they've always had it, they just haven't had it for the particular vehicles we've been looking for a little while. That's when we found stuff on the lots, which we would like to do in this case too, but there's just nothing that fits our profile currently on the lot right now.
Any questions? I move to authorize Public Works to purchase a new 2028 International HV607 cab and chassis with upfitting at a total cost of $211,638.
Second.
Second by Trustee Anderly.
Trustee Yeska?
Roll call. Aye.
Trustee Anderly?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrandt?
Aye.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
I just had a question on that. They're gonna hold this price, right? I mean, we're good.
Well, so with your approval, we'll sign, the agreement, and then it'll be locked in.
Okay. We're finding with some other things that there's changes. All right. So we can order a truck. It's approved. Recommendation to authorize tree planting and tree purchasing. It's that time of year again, and we're only looking at about 10 trees.
Yeah,
What a
it's-
difference.
Very truncated. Part of that is, it's been about half the old budget as soon as we largely got past the emerald ash borer problem, so that just is something we caught up with. This year it was authorization in advance, and we're still removing some stuff now, but then we'll get that done, same timeline, right around the fall.
Questions? I move to authorize Public Works to collect quotes for the purchase of trees and contractual tree planting services and to conduct the work according to the lowest prices received.
Second.
We have a motion and a second from trustee Price. Roll call, please.
Trustee Maska.
Aye.
Trustee Andalou.
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrand.
Aye.
Trustee Price.
Aye.
We're getting trees.
Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the order? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned. Thank you.